You are listening to The Vocal Technologist. Spoken tech for your ears.
Welcome back to The Vocal Technologist. Today we're looking at some really big shifts happening right now. We've got AI in the dev workflow, some fundamental changes in web architecture, and then the wider ripples across the industry. Should be interesting to unpack. So first up, AI in development. There's just so much buzz, isn't there, about how it's changing everything for coders day to day. Sounds amazing, this promise of massive speed ups, but what's the actual story? Is it really that straightforward?
Yeah, it's definitely not quite that simple. It's a nuanced picture. On one side, you see some fantastic stuff happening internally at companies. Take Anthropic, for example. Their teams are using their own tool, Claude Code, and seeing real results. Automating tasks, bridging skill gaps. It really seems to boost productivity.
How are they using it specifically?
Oh, all sorts. Debugging infrastructure, which is always tricky. Rapid prototyping. Generating tests, even pulling together documentation. And they're building complex apps, sometimes in languages the devs aren't even familiar with. So yeah, faster features, better code quality. Sounds great.
Okay, that does sound like the dream scenario. But you said nuance, so what's the catch? What's the other side?
Right, exactly. There was this study by METR. Quite surprising, actually. They looked at developers using AI tools. Cursor was one of them, I think. And they found those developers actually took 19% longer to finish tasks.
Longer, really, even though they expected to be faster.
Yeah, longer. And it wasn't because the AI was bad, necessarily. It was the overhead. More time spent crafting the perfect prompt, then waiting for the AI to respond, then crucially reviewing the output carefully. Plus just, IDE slowdowns.
Huh. So it's not just plug-and-play magic.
Not at all. The takeaway seems to be that using these tools effectively is a whole new skill set in itself. It's less about the coding you used to do and more about prompt engineering, understanding the context the AI needs, and being really good at reviewing its suggestions. The learning curve is steep.
So for a developer who wants to use AI effectively, wants to get past that initial slowdown, what helps? How do you get the AI the context it needs?
Well, that's where tools like Nia come in. It's what they call an MCP server, multi-context processing. Essentially, it indexes all your documentation, your code base, everything. It feeds that context to the coding agent, like Cursor. And they saw improvements of up to, was it 27%? Just by giving the AI better context to work with, it directly tackles that overhead problem.
Okay, that makes sense. Giving it the bigger picture. All right, let's shift gears a bit. Web development, you mentioned a big architectural shift happening there too.
Yes. Definitely. For ages, we've kind of bounced between two main approaches, right? You had multi-page apps, simple, reliable. And then single-page apps, much slicker user experience, but often way more complex, especially managing all that network stuff.
Yeah, that state management and data fetching could get messy.
Exactly. So React Server Components, or RSC, are trying to be the best of both worlds. The idea is to bring back that nice, clean, component-based way of building things, but handle more on the server. Crucially, it aims to get rid of a lot of that custom network code developers had to write, making things simpler and hopefully faster.
Simpler and faster is always good. So how does this affect the tools people are already using, like, say, React Router? It's pretty fundamental.
Good question. React Router is definitely evolving to work well with RSC. They're integrating features for better data handling directly within the routing, supporting streaming UI so parts of the page can load faster, and making code splitting more efficient. It's basically making the router architecture feel more natural and easier to use within this new RSC paradigm.
Okay, so the ecosystem is adapting. Now, stepping back even further, beyond just the code itself, AI's impact seems much broader. It feels like it's changing how we even find information, let alone how we work. I know my own Google searches feel different lately.
Oh, absolutely. And there's data to back that feeling up now. Pew Research just put out a study on Google's AI overviews, those AI summaries at the top of search results.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Well, they're causing a huge drop in clicks to actual websites, almost half, according to Pew. People see the AI summary, and that's it, session over. Only about 1% of those AI overviews lead to someone clicking on one of the sources it cited.
Wow, only 1%. That's a massive shift in how information gets discovered online.
It really is. It changes the whole dynamic between search engines, content creators, and users.
And speaking of shifts, there's this prediction about developer careers that seems almost counterintuitive with all this AI automation talk.
Ah, yes, Sam Altman's take, the CEO of OpenAI. He actually predicts programmer salaries are going to skyrocket, go up, despite AI writing more code.
How does that work?
His reasoning is basically about scale. He argues the world's hunger for software is just growing exponentially. Like we need maybe 1,000 times more software than we have today. So even with AI helping, we need vastly more human developers to guide it, solve complex problems, and build all that stuff.
So the demand just outstrips the automation.
That's the idea. It reframes AI not as a replacement, but as a force multiplier. The value shifts maybe from just writing lines of code to architecting systems, solving higher-level problems, and leveraging AI strategically. It poses a really interesting question for you, the listener, if you're a developer.
It certainly does. So much to think about here. We've got AI assistants that might slow you down before they speed you up, requiring new skills. We have web architecture fundamentally changing with things like RSC, and then these huge ripples affecting how we find info and maybe even boosting developer value in the long run.
It's a whirlwind, honestly. Shows how fast things are moving, lots of challenges, but also, yeah, incredible opportunities if you adapt.
Definitely food for thought. What skills, what perspectives are you going to focus on to navigate all this change? Thanks for tuning in and exploring this with us.
Spoken Tech for your ears.